This is who I am. I am a survivor of traumatic brain injury. Not to say that my TBI dominates my entire life, but it certainly affects my life in countless ways every day, as it will continue to for the rest of my life. My friends call me Cripple. I completely understand people being against that. That's fine. If you don't want to address me that way, you can always call me Cripple. Of course, I wasn't always crippled. My bad. That's not a good example. Born in '87, I was a smart, athletic, energetic kid with goals and ambitions which I was going to make happen. Planned to join the Marines after high school. After retirement from the service, wanted to teach calculus. Was a weirdo. Don't judge. November 20th, 2001, I was struck by a drunk driver while a passenger in my sister's car. My brother sustained minor concussions, has memory loss, but was the lucky one of us. My sister's pelvis was fractured in 2 places, landing her on crutches a few months. I took the bulk of the injury. I was sitting in the back of this car, but back seats didn't have shoulder straps, and my head slammed into the door frame at 70 miles per hour. I was rushed to University Medical Center, where I was placed on life support for 2 weeks. Because the brain injury primarily took place on the frontal right upper portion of my brain, the entire left half of my body became disabled. I was transferred to Health South Rehabilitation Center, where I began physical, occupational, and speech therapies. Lived there for 4 weeks, and then I went to begin outpatient therapies at St. Mary's Hospital to reteach my body how to function as well as my mind. My head trauma knocked me back more than a few years, to say the least. When I left the hospital, I was still in the mind state of about a 10-year-old. I was oblivious to this, of course, and I thought I was A-okay. I thought I was ready to go back to school, and no one held me back. When I went back to school, I drove teachers kind of crazy. It's not their fault. Educators are not really prepared to deal with kids with brain injuries. Even educators who teach students with learning handicaps tend to only know how to work with kids who are born with these handicaps, and there's a very world of difference between autism and brain injuries. It made high school very frustrating, made it very difficult. But whatever, I managed. I kept striving forward, and yay! At one point, I started seeing double. That was not fun. Yay! Fortunately, that was cleared up through surgery. Dr. Bradley Schwartz was able to tighten up a muscle gland in my left eye and get rid of it. If that surgery had failed, or if I'd started having double vision again, I'd have to find someone else outside of Tucson, because Dr. Bradley Schwartz is now in prison for hiring a hitman. Ooh. Because of school becoming a struggle, I went to have an EEG done, and brain seizure activity was found in my brain waves. Yay! TBI is just the gift that keeps on giving. My advice is, if you can help it, don't have one. This is my ex-girlfriend. Sorry, not sure why that's here. I managed to finish high school on time, class of 2005. Yay! Just before graduation, I became a parent. My daughter Billy was born. 16 months later, her sister Dakota was born. I got married, and life was seeming to come together quite nicely. Started performing in a band, bought a house. Woo! My ex-wife left me to be with the first guitarist I ever took stage with. Whoa, life doesn't always work out the way you plan it to, but, life goes on. I am now happily divorced, doing my best as a single parent to teach my kids well, teaching them about things like safety so they don't end up like me. When they hit their heads, I tell them, I hit my head a lot when I was your age, and look how great I turned out. So they make sure to wear helmets. I'm teaching them how to get dressed. This is actually a very old photo. They got that down. When they were little, I used to always have fun reading to my kids, but because of my TBI, I read very slow. And as Billy started learning to read, she started getting impatient and started telling me, "Dad, just let me read." And I was like, "Oh, okay." So I just let her read to me and Dakota. That was cool. That worked. Life can be quite a struggle, but I'm not ready to throw in the towel. I've been hit by a lot of cars. Hit by a bus once. Surprisingly, when I got hit by a golf cart, that hurt. It's way worse than the bus. I'm still here. Today, I'm a professional mascot. Where'd that come from, right? Tucson Quack and Friends. Because why not? I'm available for parties, concerts, hikes, and more. And most anything that people want to hire a weirdo for. I'm your guy. I even helped someone load a U-Haul. Never imagined I would enjoy this line of business so much, but I just wish I had started way earlier. Life is good. My kids are great. They're actually teenagers now, for sale if you're interested. I know who I am. I am he who limps. I've let go of who I was. It was difficult, but I know I'll never be that guy again. This is who I am.